Well, Niele has always been somebody very special to me from the moment I recruited her. We had a really great relationship while she was here as a player, leading us to the national championship. And when I had an opening on the staff, it was the easiest decision I ever made. I got to bring Niele back. She was somebody that could connect with the players. She was going to be a great recruiter, and she knew the game. Immediately, she has that charisma and that warmth and that smile. She is definitely the life of the party on our team. And she was somebody that, I always listened to her because she knew, what was going on the court. And she's kind of the face of our program in recruiting. I mean, when kids start looking at Notre Dame when they're young and they make a phone call, they're going to call her. And she has grown so much as a coach. She has a tremendous future. She's going to be a great head coach. And she's ready to really take that on.
Welcome. I can officially now say good afternoon to everyone at home. I'm here with James E. Rohr, Director of Athletics, Jack Swarbrick, and for the first time officially, the Karen and Kevin Keys family head women's basketball coach, Niele Ivey, along with her son, Jaden. For all the media at home, you can use the webinar Q&A function at the bottom of your Zoom screen and ask any questions of our participants today. But first, I'd like to send it over to Jack for opening remarks.
Thanks, Aaron. While we introduced the world yesterday to Coach Ivey as our new head coach, today is the opportunity to formally welcome her as the new Karen and Kevin Keys head basketball coach for the women's basketball program at the University of Notre Dame. I'm not sure it was ever a question whether Niele would be sitting in this chair today representing Notre Dame women's basketball. It was merely a question of when. And I'm not a big fan of coach in waiting designations, but in a sense, she became a coach in waiting back when Muffet handed her the ball more than 20 years ago and asked her to lead the team as a point guard. She was a coach in waiting when she became the head of the recruiting for Notre Dame's women's basketball. And she was a coach in waiting when we made her the associate head coach several years ago. The real question was whether we could hold on to Niele. And I think that's really a measure of how good a fit this is. Not only that we have identified for so long that she was the right successor to Muffet, but that she was so passionate about the opportunity that she turned down a host of great opportunities to be elsewhere, to lead other programs, for the opportunity to sit here today and start in her first day leading this storied program. So, Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
Coach, would you like to have any opening remarks?
My heart is full of gratitude for this opportunity to lead the Notre Dame women's basketball program and to follow the legacy that Coach McGraw built. My love for Notre Dame is hard to capture in words. From putting on that gold Irish uniform as a player to walking out of the tunnel at the Joyce Center as an assistant, I felt tremendous honor and pride to be able to represent for the university that has given me so much. And I'm so excited to get back and get started. First, I would like to thank Father Jenkins and Mock Malloy for their continued mentorship, support, and leadership. I want to thank Jack Swarbrick for being my champion and for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm forever grateful. What can I say about Karen and Kevin Keys? They've been great friends and have provided unwavering support of our program. I'm honored to be able to be just the second coach to have a position title that bears your name. To the Grizzlies organization and team, I'm so thankful to General Manager Zach Kleiman and Head Coach Taylor Jenkins for giving me the opportunity to be part of such an elite organization. My knowledge and growth expanded in a short time due to the incredible leadership and pure excellence I absorbed on a daily basis. The relationships I built with the players and entire staff of Memphis was nothing short of amazing. I appreciate you. To Coach McGraw, I'm here because of you. You believed in me. You fostered my development, and you instilled the confidence in me to prepare for this moment. You gave me my first opportunity, and there are no words to properly express the amount of love and admiration I have for you. I hope I make you proud. To my family, my friends, my former players and teammates, thank you all for all your love and support. throughout the years. And most importantly, to my rock, my inspiration sitting right next to me, Jaden, you are my why. You're the reason I am who I am. The strength I need to wake up and my passion is because of you. You're my inspiration, my motivation, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and the sacrifice that you've made to allow me to live out my dreams, and I will always love you for it, and I thank you. And I can't wait to see what is in store for you.
Love you too.
This is for us. I hope my journey shows you that belief in yourself and hard work will pay off. And lastly, our team and our amazing fans. Just know from this moment forward, I will give you 1,000% of my heart and soul. I can't wait to get started.
Thanks, Coach. We'll give you a couple seconds to get situated. I'll get to Jack first. Jack, can you just take us through again kind of the process you went through from transitioning? You talked about consistency and continuity yesterday with Coach McGraw to Coach Ivey. How did that transition work?
Well, Coach McGraw and I would annually talk about the future of the program, as I do with all head coaches. And one of the questions annually in that conversation is, Coach, if the proverbial bus came along, who would you want to succeed you? And for some time, Coach McGraw identified Coach Ivey, but that wasn't news to me. I attended enough practices, saw enough interaction with the student athletes to know that Niele was a future head coach and hopefully a future head coach at Notre Dame. So Coach McGraw and I had talked about it for a while, without any sense of exactly when Coach McGraw would step down. I want to stress that this was her decision recently made. But knowing that, we talked to Niele about this possibility, and she and I talked a lot over the past 2 years as other opportunities came her way, and as we were thinking about our future, to encourage her to hold on for this moment. And then when the Grizzlies opportunity came along, we thought it was the perfect sabbatical. We love the notion of Niele seeing a different program, learning from the NBA's level of expertise, and bringing that knowledge back. So the concept's been around for a long time, but it was activated in the past month.
It's great, Jack. Coach, when Jack or Coach McGraw first talked to you about this opportunity, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Just full of gratitude, but just realizing that it would be a dream, to be able to take over a program, storied program like Notre Dame. My passion for Notre Dame and my love for the program, everything it stands for, it's where my heart is. And so it was just an awesome feeling.
Awesome. A couple people at home are asking to respond to Jaren Jackson's quote. I don't know if you've read it yet, but I'll read it to you,
Yeah.
and you can respond to it. Everything she has done this season to help us prepare for games and on our games, she's amazing. She is the realist, honestly. She was always getting wins when it was her scout. She probably had the most wins during her scout. She is unreal. So I'm just really happy for her. I bet she doesn't even know what to do with herself right now. She's go Irish. That is probably the only time I'll ever say that. So talk about the relationship you've created with Jaren, John Morant, some of the other members of the organization, Coach Jenkins, with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, first off with Coach Jenkins, Taylor Jenkins, he is a phenomenal coach. He fostered an incredible environment, an environment of learning, an environment of just growth and development, and I learned so much under his leadership. I just think he's one of the most amazing people I've ever met, and I felt like everything that transpired in the Grizzlies, every relationship that I built from the garage, from the ushers, from the training room, back to the coworkers, to the players, was very organic. I felt like it was very authentic, the way that we connected, and those are going to be relationships that are going to last a lifetime. And as far as the players, Jaren and Ja, John Morant, he was the first person to reach out to me when the news hit, and first message that I received of just saying like, welcome. And I just felt like that just spoke volumes of his character, and I'm used to being around high character people as in Notre Dame, my experience in Notre Dame. So to me, that spoke volumes with somebody with such a great, huge name and celebrity and I just fell in love from day one, and I just appreciate how much they've embraced me, and it was just a joy to work with everyone there.
Has your phone stopped ringing yet?
Not at all.
Okay, great. Probably won't for a while.
Right.
Yeah, so let's talk about phones. Let's talk about this new age. You still have your recruiting stuff is all taken care of. You're starting rolling on that. So what is that looking like for the next week, couple months for you in the recruiting sentiment?
Well, fortunately, I'm not too far removed. Only one year, really, almost 8-9 months, and so I still have those relationships and developed really good relationships with the junior class, and so that was something that's just it's going to be very beneficial as I move forward. And relationships are really important. I think this age of social media, this age of recruiting, it's all about obviously success and tradition and just the universities, but it's really big about relationships. And I'm just going to hit the ground running today to reach out to those that I think that will help this program. And again, I'm just going to rely on those relationships that I built and created when I was here at Notre Dame.
Great. Jack, let's put to bed the conversation about the transition. So Denise Swarkan asks, would anyone else consider for this position?
No. As I indicated, we identified this as the likely succession plan, I would say 2 years ago now. And as long as Niele remained interested and available, whenever Muffet made that decision, this was the path we were going to move in. Subject to Niele agreeing, of course. She was a good negotiator. Let me just let me say that. She didn't make it easy. She made it fair.
So Coach, that's a great jumping off point. How was that comment when Jack called you and said, "Hey, we're ready to make this move. Coach, this is happening with Coach McGraw. We're ready to make you the next Karen and Kevin Keyes family head basketball coach." What was your first thing that came through your mind?
I was shocked just because you just never can really prepare for a moment. So the magnitude of a moment, as huge as it is to lead a program like University of Notre Dame, and to have Jack Swarbrick, call me and offer me the position was, like I said, a dream come true, an opportunity of a lifetime, and I was just so ecstatic, so happy, just filled with love and joy and tears and goosebumps, because I think of Notre Dame, I just think of the excitement, I think of the experience that I had here as a player, as a coach, and then just to be able to come back to my alma mater, a place that has given me so much. It's pretty much a no-brainer for me, but I just feel so much gratitude for him to give me that opportunity, because opportunity to me is everything. And I think every path that I've had amazing leaders that gave me the opportunity. Coach McGraw recruiting me, bringing me as an assistant with no prior experience. The Grizzlies for taking a chance with me, being the first female assistant coach in the NBA, and then now Jack giving me my first opportunity as a head coach. There's no words that could express the gratitude I have for that.
Great. Mia Berry from High Post Hoops is asking a little bit of a Muffet question here. What are some of the lessons and advice from Coach McGraw that you will carry into your program?
And she's had many, many lessons, and almost like just being a sponge under her. She was somebody that I just learned from her daily, how she operated. The biggest thing is to work with integrity. I think that she was somebody that displayed, a tremendous amount of passion. Passion for Notre Dame, passion for women's basketball. She's a pioneer in our game, and she just taught me so many lessons. But the biggest thing is just her passion, her work ethic, how I saw her move every day, how much she poured into not only the team, not only the community, women's basketball, but to her family. And to me, that's important. Obviously, there's a reason why I have my son sit next to me. She showed me how what a career woman looks like. To be able to have the best of, you can have both. You don't have to have one or the other. And I feel like she really stressed that. She's just empowering. She empowered me. She taught me a lot of confidence, and that's just with how she interacted with people every day. Sometimes you don't even have to give advice; you just watch. And so that's what I did.
Jack mentioned something yesterday about to kind of follow up this on a Mia Berry question, but Jack talked about how everyone has to be their own person. You're going to put your own stamp on the program. How are you going to put your own stamp on this program that maybe differs a little bit from Coach McGraw?
Right. First of all, those are, I know her size is about a size 5 or 6, but those are big heels to try to fill. So I'm not going to try to do that. Like you said, and I appreciate him saying that, because it's, when you follow a legend, following a legend is not going to be, it is not easy, but I just want to be myself. I think that I am always pretty much true to myself. I try to stay as authentic as I can. And, you know, I develop a strong work ethic, and I'm going to use that as, you know, stepping into this role. I understand the value of Notre Dame. I understand the value of a Notre Dame education, because I was fortunate to receive one, and I'm gonna lead by my heart and soul, and just, you know, try as hard as I can to bring the best out of our girls, and just for them to grow. I think my mission is to love, to serve, and to mentor, and I'm gonna live by those values.
That's great. So Mitchell Northern from the NCAA.com and High Post Hoops is wondering, what kind of lessons could you bring back from Coach Jenkins from Memphis, working with in the NBA the past year, to bring it back to build your program here at Notre Dame?
I thought he did a great job of developing culture, and he was a first-time head coach, young team, young staff, and he, from the beginning of, I mean, he's super organized, very, very high IQ, great work ethic. He was just a tremendous leader. He has a generous spirit, and I just thought he did a great job of building the foundation, building the culture, and I learned so much from that. He allowed us all to be a part of every aspect of the organization, and and outside of, first of all, the NBA, the level of NBA basketball X's and O's is just on a different level. But I took away so many. Just so many things by the way that he started building the foundation of our for the Grizzlies organization or team, and just the way that he started it. Because to me, one of the many reasons that I decided to go to Grizzlies is because I loved that he was a first-time head coach, and I knew that he had a lot of passion for what he was doing, and I felt very connected to that. I feel like he mirrored the way that I view basketball, and so that was something that was important to me, and he showed that in every day. The way that he led the team, I just took so much away from who he was as a person.
It's great. Jack, one of the things that talks about Coach Ivey is her ability to connect with people, whether it be a younger generation, recruits, her current team, or her alumni. Can you give us a little bit of a feeling of how you've been able to connect with Coach Ivey in your time here at Notre Dame?
Well, Coach McGraw yesterday, when you gave her the one-word challenge, said charismatic, and Coach Ivey is certainly charismatic. But the thing that I've enjoyed most about our relationship is her intellectual curiosity. She would frequently visit to talk about issues. You saw from her explanation about watching a culture be built. It's very much the fact she's the great scout for opposing teams. She's got that reputation in 2 organizations now. It's this amazing intellectual curiosity. And it was always those discussions in which I was most intrigued and saw all the elements of a future great head coach as she wanted to talk about where recruiting was headed, or what would the future of women's basketball, or some business issue with Notre Dame athletics. She was looking at all aspects of the program.
Great. Angelo DiCarlo from Redeemer Radio is looking back at some of the opportunities you had to be a head coach within college athletics before this opportunity. So first of all, you've had opportunities. What sets this one apart from the other opportunities you've had at high major programs to be their head basketball coach?
I just felt like, obviously, Notre Dame is a perfect fit for me, for my family. A lot of my decisions are made together with Jaden and I. Sometimes I think it's all about God's timing, and this is perfect timing for me to be able to step into this type of role while Jaden is headed to college. And I think some of those other opportunities were different phases of his high school career, and I usually thought of what would be the best for him as well, because I know we're a package deal. So if it doesn't work for him, and if it's not something that is going to be beneficial for his growth, I think that was the number one thing that I used for distinguishing between what's a good job and what's a place that I could feel like I can spread my wings to. And then obviously Notre Dame is the perfect fit for me. as everyone knows that, but also the timing I thought was perfect for me.
Let's move on to Jaden. You bring up Jaden. Vince D'Addario from Irish Breakdown is wondering, how has going through the recruiting process as a mom with Jaden changed the way you recruit as a head coach, if at all?
Right. It's actually amazing. I learned so much by being recruited, and it was really nice to be on the other side. I felt like a lot of coaches were very careful when they talked to me. So but I learned so much. He was fortunate to be recruited by some of the best universities in the country, best coaches in the country. So I really used that knowledge and through mailers, through social media presence, the way that they interacted with Jaden, the way they interacted with myself, and I used a lot of those things that really mattered to me, that really spoke to my heart, and kind of put those in the back, like little nuggets for myself, because the things that really stood out to me, I tried to take heed and learn from the things that really were really good in the process of the reason why he came to his decision. But I learned a lot from everybody, and I'm so grateful for the relationships that I built during the recruiting process for him.
Sean Stiers from WSBT Radio is kind of getting up a little bit of his attire today and asking, Coach McGraw mentioned the first sellout crowd back in '01 yesterday in her press conference in the win over UConn. Wondering if that's the same jersey or is that just a different one? You know if that's the one you wore in 2001?
This is the actual jersey that I won that game with, and then the one that we won the national championship in St. Louis.
Do you have any memories from that 2001 day against UConn here at the Joyce Center?
Great memories. I just remember it was like you say, like a sellout. The first one, I just remember having so much support through the community. We were completely focused. It was a game where our seniors, like, we really rose to the occasion. It was just a moment in time that I just can always remember the feeling that I had, the pride I had, being able to come out on the floor with the team, but also just the confidence that we exuded that day. Like, it was a day that we felt like, UConn, you guys are here to play us. You guys are in our house, and I felt like we rose to the occasion that day. And I will always remember the feeling that I had. And then that was the first time that the fans stormed the court. So that's a memory that I'll never forget, having the Notre Dame fans storm the court.
It's great. I mean, the Notre Dame fans are what kind of brings Purcell Pavilion to life at times. But the alumni, Coach McGraw hits on it, Jack hits on it a lot, is that what keeps this program just becoming a family atmosphere. And Matthew Ward's wondering, can you talk a bit about your relationships with former Notre Dame players that continue today and how important those ties are to your program?
I have, our alumni network at Notre Dame, and then we talk about this as not only a 4-year decision, but a 40-year decision. This is a place that we have the most amazing alumni network in the country, and our alumni that are part of our basketball program is just the same. I always feel like the alumni they're the heartbeat of our program. They're the pillars. I think we do a really good job of acknowledging former players and making them feel like they're a part of it, because they laid the groundwork before the most present team. And I just love how they all support, they all give back, they always want to be a part of it. I thought Coach McGraw did a phenomenal job of making them feel a part of it. I think that the championship year in 2018, we probably had over 70 plus alum that came out to support us in the championship title game, and also she allowed them to come to the locker room. And the biggest part of the alumni that I love about our program is that you don't feel like it's just 4 years. You're always going to be a part of it, and I think that's just something special. It's not something that you see all the time. And I'm really close with every single person that either I recruited or had the opportunity to coach. I'm FaceTiming with Skylar on the way over here, with Enrique. I'm just really close with everybody. They have always been there for me, and I feel like that connection is something that makes Notre Dame very special.
When did this hit that you were going to be the head women's basketball coach here at Notre Dame?
Sorry.
When did it set in?
It hit yesterday for sure. Especially with the text messages and the calls, but coming to the office and seeing Coach McGraw for the first time in a while, and just being in the practice facility, seeing the banners, seeing just campus, just being back on campus. It really hit yesterday, and then obviously our Zoom call, that was special. put my Zoom call with the team, with Jack and Coach McGraw. That was special.
Yeah, how did the alumni one go? I know there was an alumni one right before it.
Yes, that was the Zoom team with the present team was a little bit more emotional. The alumni one, they were just going crazy, and that just shows the support that they have for Coach McGraw. So excited for her and her next journey and career, and then excited for me. So that was awesome. It was fun to see the reaction of everyone. We taped it just to, cherish those moments of just seeing everyone's reaction. And I feel like they were so supportive, and it's just only at Notre Dame you can have that type of support.
Definitely. Anthony Anderson from the South Bend Tribune knows that Coach McGraw's stamp is obviously a part of you. You played here, you coached here, but how would you say you're most different from her in personality and in coaching philosophy?
I think she will always say that she is not the warm and fuzzy. That's what she always used to tell everyone, that she's not the warm and fuzzy. That's why she has me. So I think that that's probably like the biggest difference is that I'm just used to being in that role. I think that's just the essence of who I am. I love people. I feel like I show my heart. Coach McGraw is. I don't want to say that to say that she's the one of the most heartfelt women I know. But I think I show my emotions a little bit more than she does. So I would say that would be the difference in the philosophy. Luckily, I have had so much knowledge by being under Coach McGraw that you're going to see a lot of the same style of play as Coach McGraw's system, up tempo, likes to want to score a lot of points, want to set a lot of drag screens. Very similar to what Coach McGraw's style. I'm fortunate to have a different experience with the NBA, and I really loved the offense that Taylor Jenkins instituted with the Grizzlies. And so I'm going to take a little piece of a lot of different things that I've learned, definitely last year and over the 12 years that I've learned with Coach McGraw. But my biggest thing is assessing our talent and trying to find the right offense that's going to fit our girls here. I want to highlight, make sure that they're all put in the situations that are going to make them successful and that are going to be strengths of theirs. So I'm going to try to do a couple little things, but it's definitely going to be heavily influenced by my experience and my knowledge under Coach McGraw.
A few different media members are asking the question is, what is your recruiting pitch? You're going to go out there as a first-time head coach. What is your recruiting pitch when you get on that Zoom call right now with the FaceTime? What is that to our incoming class or the PSAs going farther out?
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing is just to kind of let them know who I am as a person. I think that's the biggest part of it because, as you see in the transfer portal, a lot of kids are not making the right connections with schools and not finding the right fit. So I feel like the really only thing I can talk about is what I can do for them and my experience as a player here at Notre Dame, and my experience last year. In the NBA. So just basically kind of telling them my story and how I want to develop them and make them better. I think that's the biggest part of my pitch is just to be myself. I'm going to create a little bit, most of my vision. Like I said, my mission is to love, to serve, and to mentor. And I want to stress the importance of that. I think Notre Dame is the best place in the world. I'm very biased to that, but I definitely want to show them that what Notre Dame can provide for them academically and athletically, and the values that Notre Dame has, and that's going to be my biggest pitch. But also the biggest thing is just to be myself and connect as quickly as I can. So
we'll end on this next one. People are asking about community. Notre Dame women's basketball is built around community. Coach McGraw's been in the community. You've been in the community. Jaden has been in the community. What does it mean to come back here and become a more integral part of the community as the head coach of this program?
It means everything to me because Notre Dame, we have the best fans in the land, best band. We have such great support here. I feel like they've embraced our program from the beginning, and I think that it's going to be great just to come back as the leader, but also just to immerse myself into the community because some of our fans were there when I was a player, and that's really important to continue to engage in the relationships that I have with the community, and just make them realize that they really are a part of the success of our program. They are the sixth man, and I just want to make sure that I'm just looking forward to getting out to the community and just really having them embrace me and embracing them, and I'm just excited for it.
Awesome, Coach. Jack, Coach, Jaden, I appreciate you guys taking the time today. For everyone at home, thank you for joining in Coach McGraw's press conference yesterday and Coach Ivey's today. For more information on Coach Ivey's hiring, you're more than welcome to go to UIndy.com. Have a good day.